We all have fears of death. We have fears of pain.
It likes to be the cause of the tears, the grief.
It's an it now?
We have a tendency to gravitate towards stories where those things take a concrete form that we can grasp. El Cuco is that kind of creature.
Holly.
Everybody thinks taking the supernatural seriously is too medieval for words. And that has allowed El Cuco to thrive. Holly's got to make people who trust only what they see basically believe in the boogeyman, to accept what they can't see.
A human being cannot be in two realities at the same time. She's so sure in herself at that moment that nothing can sway her. Expand your sense of what reality might entail.
Holly comes along and is able to nail it down and distill it and go, I think it's that.
The real killer was a malevolent entity called El Cuco. This paranormal being has existed in different cultures under different names. There is a universality, even though our faiths are completely different.
This entity that everybody thought was a fantasy is real.
You don't have to listen to this crap, Gloria. Let's go.
No, I want to hear the rest.
Let her talk.
And that was a speech that spread over 8 pages. I think we had everyone in that scene at that point, and me facing off with everyone. I did not want to prompt her. That doesn't actually help. It makes it harder to connect and speak to people. That was quite a challenge.
This is your big plan to exonerate my husband?
She just flips. This is what you're doing? You're hunting down the boogeyman?
God damn. All of you.
It's a scene that grounds us in Holly's theory about what's going on. It plays equally as importantly with everyone's reaction to what she's saying.
You shouldn't have to work this hard to prove his innocence.
Julianne Nicholson, who plays Gloria Maitland, does want to find justice for her husband because she knows he's not guilty.
What if he killed the boy?
She is so beside herself. What if my husband did it? Because certainly not the boogeyman. Maybe it doesn't make sense because none of it makes sense. Maybe Terry's the guy. And the only hope for her is in her husband's exoneration.
Gloria is having her own reaction. Jack Hoskins, he's having his own reaction because he's being controlled by El Cuco.
This creature takes him for his own puppet to work against the characters that are chasing the bad guy.
He's been scratched, and in this scratch is ownership. He suffers.
Hey there, Jackie boy.
Including being pummeled by an apparition that looks like his dead mother.
When he shows up to Jack as Jack's mother, that was all Richard. I remember reading that script for him and going, oh, you went there, great. That's great.
Please go away.
He's forced to confront that sorrow and the emotion of seeing your mother and then having her beat the crap out of you.
He wants to understand what's happening to him. And the only person that empathizes with him is Holly.
Okay.
El Cuco's greatest threat is knowing that he exists. It was Holly's speech that literally lights that match. And she has almost convinced everybody. If El Cuco can get her dead, then he's in the clear. I love car scenes. I just want people sitting in cars talking. I thought what would be a really cool thing was to play off the dynamic of somebody getting in a car and closing the door and realizing, oh my God, I just got into a car with a guy who may be a killer. And I may never get out of this car again. There's just this incredible tension. Is he gonna kill me? And then with Jack, am I gonna kill her?
El Cuco. I need someone to stop these people that are on my trail.
What is it? Vampire? Satan?
I don't know. I don't think she sees him as a criminal or someone who's done anything wrong. I think she sees him as someone who is also a victim and someone who's deeply, deeply troubled.
You know I'm trying to help you, right?
She understands what he's going through because she believes in the creature. And he just wants to know what is happening to me.
Why did it pick me?
It's drawn to pain.
Jack is a guy who is struggling mightily against this situation that he finds himself in that is completely supernatural.
You've been wronged all your life. That's why you...
He knows that he likes her, and yet she is a clear threat to El Cuco at this point.
He has to do what he has to do. He has no choice.
Take that road right up there.
I think if Holly could have spent a little bit more time with Jack to change the situation, she would have, even though it was traumatic and terrifying. I think she also knows that it's not up to him and spends a lot of the time trying to save him.
The mandate is for him to try and kill Holly.
And I think she's deeply, deeply wants to help him, but knows someone's going to end up hurt.
And at this point in the show, the characters are forced to make a decision. Who's going to believe what Holly says and who isn't?
After everything I told you yesterday about Terry having been scratched by Heath Hofstetter, who was probably scratched by Maria Canal.
Analysis, yes.
And is it true that the Terry version of it scratched Claude?
If you're not with us, if you hesitate, we're all dead. That's the only way.
If you guys are gonna stop this thing, you need to start getting over yourself. If you can't, or you won't allow that to happen, then you need to just step to the side.
This is what this creature lives on. He lives on unbelief. If you don't open up your mind to the possibility that there's something extra normal going on here, you will probably die